Welcome everybody to Nitro RC Trucks. Podcast episode number 2. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna be talking about two of the most competitor or not competitor, but like kind of a trailers and kind of like a crawler trailer. But yeah, um, so we're gonna be having the Traxxas Summit and the Axial Race. Now, first off, I want to point out, yes, I have driven both of them, or driven, or however you want to say it. And they both kind of have the same type of compound of a tire. One is soft and rubbery, which is the Axial Wraith, and then one is just a soft, squishy. Which can be, if you're a competition crawler, can be a disadvantage. You kind of want the medium to the hard compounded tire. So that is, it's definitely not a competition crawler. The Axeal Wraith and Traxxas Summit, they're not competition. They're more of a trailers and just mess around trucks. So let's start off with the Traxxas Summit. It's got a lot of technology, and it has, I think it has over 22 LED lights, front and back, front and rear. It's got I don't know what in the motor or engine or whatever you want to call it. It's got enough to give you a kick. I mean, it's not the best, but it's definitely good for the actual thing. It's plenty of it. Now, you're gonna have to make a mod for the Traxxas Summit to put a 3-cell LiPo in it. It's not a big mod, but it is a small one. So, I mean, that's kind of on the downside. So, I mean, the upside is, it goes faster with the 3-cell. But anyways, and the cool thing about it is, it's not a crawler as, it's not going to get you over a mountain of rocks. It's not stock out of the bone stock. It's not going to get you out of the death-defying rock crawling competition. It's not. You're going to probably get second to last place with it. Probably even a 10-year-old British kid is going to beat you. I'm sorry, but it probably will happen. But if you're familiar with the e-Revo, it's kind of got the same platform. So that is one thing on the plus if you're familiar, but if you're not, it's kind of going to be like, my friend has this and it looks way simpler. So, I mean, it depends on what you do to it. It's good for bashing. It's more of a basher, I would say, than a crawler. It has the low speed gear for the crawler and then the high speed gear for just the random bashing, going over a couple of jumps. I would not say they're stiff. They're good for huge jumps. They're not. But I mean, it's fine with me. I mean, they work great for what they do. So I don't have a problem with it. A good thing that Traxxas has put in them is they feature a remote lock. So that's one good thing. I would say both of these have the same issue. When they turn at a high speed at a kind of like a sharp turn, they tend to flip over really easy. So that is one thing I think Traxxas and Axial should fix. Although, in my personal opinion, I do like the Axial Wraith. It's more of a crawler than it is a basher, but it's also a basher. So, I mean, if you guys did not know, Squirrel had, if you guys don't know who Squirrel is, I'll put the link in the description below as his YouTube channel. And don't forget to go onto his forums and sign up. But anyways, the Axial can handle a beating. Like, I do believe he dropped it 50 yards from Mount Erie. He lives in Washington. And he blew up the lipo. But he ballooned it, so, you know, that's okay. But they're very sturdy. Things are, I mean, it's more of a rock racer. You're not gonna get anything whatsoever that's gonna be a rock crawler. You're not gonna get a competition. You're not gonna win a competition. Although you're gonna come in faster than a traxxas Summit. Traxxas Summits are more for basic kind of stuff. So, I mean, yeah. The axial race is also good on tough terrain at lower speeds, around 4 to 5 miles an hour. But that's a crawler there for you. The chassis on it is, it's not close to depth like a rock crawler. I mean, you're gonna have challenges if you're gonna go over a big rock mountain. So that's one thing I would say that Axial would have to change if they're gonna make it more of a crawler, because they're known for their trailers. So yeah. And if you're going at the max speed, which is 10 miles an hour, 9 to 10 miles an hour on nickel metal hydrate, and 10 to 12 miles per hour on a 2-cell lipo. So I suggest just sticking with the 2-cell lipo, or if you want to mod it up, whatever, do that. But if you're going to go crawling, stick with a nickel metal hydrate. I do believe it's a 7-cell nickel metal hydrate, or not cell, I don't know what to call it. So yeah. Also, they're not a competition crawl. They're more of a trailer. The compound in the thing is very soft, very rubber, and it's heavy, which you lose the crawler ability out of it. So it's kind of weird. It's a severe pain in the ass to crawl over tough terrain, like huge rocks, like in multiple areas. And it slips when that happens. It tends to slip and slide and go all over the place. I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, you also, obviously, people have their own views. So I would say I would personally lean towards the more of a axial race, because you're always gonna have mods up on it because it's more of a trailer, and the suspension on it is great. And a lot of people are saying that have the axial or the traxxas, the traxxas Summit it's good because it has that lock thing, or remote lock, because you can just spin around and go over and do it again. So people like that, but they also say they have an issue with going over stuff. So with that said, I would like to go over another piece of equipment or thing that you're gonna need for nitros, which is racing fuel. There's racing fuel and there's a bashing fuel. I tend to go over to the racing because I'm not much of a basher. I mean, if I have a monster truck, I bash it. I don't race it. If I have a truggy, I tend to bash it and race it. So it's not a high bash, but it's definitely a bash. So yeah, I go for the O'Donnell racing fuel, high amount of ethanol, and whatnot. So yeah. There are several different off-brands I do not recommend getting. I know they're cheaper, but they wreck the engine. They're not performance and whatnot. Obviously, that's up to your decision. It's the budget you have, but I mean, recommendation is a recommendation. And also, fuel is depending on the person. So, I suggest getting O'Donnell or Nitrotane or Fortec, or not the actual company name Nitro, and stuff like that. So with that said, guys, I want to thank you for listening to the podcast. Don't forget to go on my Facebook at nitro space RC space trucks. Also, you can go up to my website at www.nitrorctrucks.webs.com. Don't forget to sign up at the forums. On the forums of thetoys.com at www.toys.com. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe.